Good morning, everyone.
Hi.
We hope you all had a good break. This week we are going to make a fun bubble painting craft. I'm going to show you the one that I made just to give you an example of what we're going to make. So it's kind of like a hydrangea flower and we used bubbles and we're going to show you how. But Lori, what supplies do we need for this activity?
You're going to need a little plate with a lip on it so that you can put some water in there. You're going to need some dish soap, some paint, preferably acrylic. If you don't have acrylic, then any other kind of paint. Acrylic. You're going to need some either glycerin oil or some baby oil. That's real important because that helps it stick to the paper. You're going to need some scissors. You're going to need a marker to write your name. And you either need a green marker or green paper to make your leaves. So let's start by writing our names.
Okay. I'm going to move it so everybody can see. We made ours ahead of time just to save a little time, but we're going to explain to you guys how to make that one. Do our name, and then we're going to kind of draw like whatever flower shape you want. I'm just kind of making a wavy shape for mine. And there's Lori's. Let me move it a little bit so you guys can see Lori. And then we're gonna cut these out. And some of you might need some help cutting these out. And that's okay. Just have your helper help cut it out. Make sure you use both hands. One to hold the paper and one for the scissors. Yeah, the wavier that you make yours, like mine's kind of wavy, it's harder to cut out. So make sure you think about that when you're drawing your flower, how hard it's going to be to cut out. So there is my flower shape, and Lori's finishing cutting hers. I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do for my leaves here, those little pieces on the flower. So I am going to draw some triangles. I'll do 3 triangles, and Lori has green construction paper, so she is doing hers on there. If you don't have it at home, you can use white paper and color it in like this.
I'm going to cut out my triangles.
Make sure if you are coloring these, use your helper hand to help hold the paper so it doesn't move on you when you're coloring.
Yes, that helper hand is important. He helps a lot.
Yeah, because look, if I don't have my hand there, oh my gosh, my paper, and I just colored off the lines now. And so Lori's got hers cut out. I'm going to cut mine out, and she's going to start gluing hers on.
So I'm only going to want to put glue a little bit on this side of the triangle because you're not going to glue the whole piece, whole triangle to the flower. You just want the edge so it looks like a leaf. Just like that. See, that's a leaf sticking out.
Okay, I'm going to do the same as Lori. I've got my, oh, I seem to have lost one of my leaves. I don't know. Oh, it fell in my lap. Here it is. I got my 3 leaves. And then, yep, I'm going to take my glue stick, just like Lori said, and I'm only going to glue the end of it. Or if that's too hard, because sometimes it's hard to hold the little piece, you can put it on the actual flower, just 3 little dots of glue. Then you can stick it on. When you're doing this, try to work on using those pincher fingers. So I'm going to pick it up with my pincher fingers and put it on the glue and make sure I pat it on. So I will do that with all 3. And then, yep, got my pincher fingers again. Gluing on. Oh my goodness, and I did mine upside down. How silly. Well, that's okay. I'm just going to turn it around. So, mistake that you might make.
We want your name on the back, and that's where you're going to glue your flowers. So I'd be like this.
Yep,
Lauren's got it right now.
I just fixed mine.
Good job, Lauren. See, everything is able to be fixed.
Yeah, so if you make a mistake, no big deal. We'll fix it. So now this mixture, what you're going to do is put a little bit of water in here, a little bit of paint. Like we said, acrylic paint does work better, but if you don't have acrylic, just use the washable paint. Like we have the Crayola one here. And then a little bit of oil. We have baby oil. You could use, like Lori said, the glycerin, or you could probably even use like canola oil or vegetable oil that I'm thinking would work very similar to this. And then we're gonna put a little bit of dish soap in. And you don't have to measure this, just put a little bit of each in here and then stir it together. And then you're gonna take your straw and you're gonna blow some bubbles. And some of you might need help blowing bubbles because blowing bubbles is kind of a tricky thing to do. Lori's still blowing hers. So I'm gonna take mine and you're gonna press it into the bubbles. And you might have to do this a few times. And I did a little too much. And see, that's what you want to try to avoid. It's still gonna be okay, but it's gonna take longer to dry. I don't know if you guys can see like my cool bubble marks here. But I'm gonna have to blow more bubbles because my bubbles popped. So I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try to get the spots that didn't get touched yet with the color. I'm gonna dip it in. See, I'm getting more bubbles on there, more bubble painting, I mean. And kind of just keep doing this until you feel like your flower is painted enough. Oh, Lori, that's looking pretty, very pretty. And this flower, it kind of looks like a hydrangea flower. We thought this would be really pretty. And since it's getting so nice outside too.
I think I'm gonna let mine dry just like that. You see the variance in the colors? And that's kind of how the hydrangea is. It's got darker and lighter all together.
Mm-hmm.
So we would love to see your finished flowers.
Yeah.
So send us a picture if you get a chance. We would love to see your finished product.
Yes, and we hope you enjoy this activity. And like Lori showed, you can make it as big as you want, as many on there. I'll show you I did put a little bit more bubbles on these compared to this one.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, try not to dip it all the way in the water. Just touch the bubbles on the top. Otherwise, you will get a mark like that. But it still looks kind of cool. So make it however you guys would like, okay? We hope you enjoy. Bye.